Hey everybody. Somebody told me the other night, I was talking to them, and they said that I may be losing myself. And I want to talk about that a little bit. That I may be losing myself. And I really do want to talk about it. My name is Jimmy Rance. If you're new here, welcome, I think. Before I begin, I'd like to say that today's video is not sponsored by this Axe Phoenix deodorant. This will make every man on earth smell like a chinchilla, and it gives people headaches, I understand. I don't know. That's just what I was told. I'd also like to tell you that today's show is not sponsored by Dr. Squatch, this stuff here. You put this stuff on here, you talk about animal magnetism. Don't wear this, guys, around the women. They'll just go crazy. They'll go crazy. Okay, now that we have this out of the way, here, let me get organized here. I got to put that down. I'll grab my pen. I'm not losing myself. I'm finding myself. Now, where does all of this come from? I'm going to talk about me. I don't know how long this is going to be. I can go in so many different directions. I don't even know where to begin. Oh, Jimmy, I'm worried about you. I think you're losing yourself. You're not like who you used to be. Well, let's talk about that for a minute. For those of you who may be interested, maybe some of you have experienced what I'm kind of going through. Maybe not. I don't know. You see, way over a decade ago, actually about 14, 15 years ago, I created a YouTube channel, and I was one of the first original guys that actually talked about prepping. I wasn't the first, but I was one of the first. I talked a lot about prepping, and I talked a lot about RVing. And I talked about it for years and years and years and years. And I got kind of burned out on both. Then I met the most wonderful woman that I've ever met in my life, and we got married over a decade ago. And I totally gave up YouTube as far as me having a channel. I just shut it down, cold turkey, shut it down. I wanted to be with my wife. I didn't want to be with YouTube, you know. It was that kind of situation. I'm so thankful that I did. Well, most of you know this, maybe some new people don't. Well, my wife died almost 11 months ago, unexpectedly, from colorectal cancer. And at that time, I don't think I've ever been as lost as I've ever been in my life. I'm talking about, I don't think I've ever been depressed really in my life, but when my wife died, I learned what depression was about very quickly. And I mean, I was walking around this house in a stupor. I didn't know what to do with myself. I know how to take care of myself. I know how to clean and sweep and vacuum and make beds and do laundry and cook and clean. I can do all of that. That wasn't the problem. The problem was the severe loneliness, the quietness. That was very hard for me because I'm not used to living in a house by myself. I was used to living with my wife, and we had so much in common. That's what was so wonderful about our marriage. We had so much in common. Well, I knew, and I've kind of said some of this story before, but I'm not going to tell it because I don't want to bore all of you who have heard it a million times. But at that point, I was so lonely. I knew that I was getting myself into emotional or psychological trouble. I knew that I was. And one of the things was because I really had nobody to talk to. I didn't have any friends. I've lived here for 19 years, in this house right here, 19 years. And over the years, I have made wonderful friends, but they were military and they left. They got deployed. They were gone. New people would move in. I would meet the new people, and we became friends again. They deployed. So after a short while ago, I got, I'm not going to make just new friends with these new people because they're just going to deploy and they're going to be gone. I'm already sad that my wife is gone. I'm alone in that regard. So I'm going to make some new friends and then they're going to be gone. So now I get to be sad about that. So put the sadness of losing the friends on top of the sadness of losing my wife. That's not good. That's not healthy. So I decided to just stay home here and be alone in my museum of memories, as I call my house, because everywhere I look, it's just nothing but memories. But the bottom line is I was getting in psychological trouble and I knew it. I knew that I needed to communicate. I needed to talk to somebody, but I didn't have anybody to talk to. So what did I do? I thought back. I said, well, when I was on YouTube over a decade ago, I used to have people I talked to all the time. I made some internet friends, and it was really a nice thing. So I started thinking last December, well, hey, Jim, why don't you start a channel up again? Just name it Jimmy Rants, but just don't do what you did, back in whenever it was, 12, 13, 14, 15 years ago. Don't do that. Don't be a prepping channel. It's okay to talk about prepping. I don't want to be a doomsday prepper. I don't want to be caught up in that bunch of nut jobs. I'm a practical prepper. Now that is smart. The doomsday, nah, you just love to live and hope that every day is Halloween. Well, that ain't me. You do that. You wear your little hats and look around every corner and it's doom and gloom everywhere, and you guys live for that. It gives you another reason to go buy another box of ammo because the 35,000 rounds you have isn't enough. I need more. I don't want to get into the RVing stuff. I've done that. I've been RVing ever since I was 14 years old, and I'm 71 years old right now. That's a long time to be RVing. I just recently sold 2 RVs. I love RVing, but I don't want to talk about what I've already talked about since I was 14 years old. After a while, it gets kind of old. I don't like just telling the same stories over and over and over. But someone says that, Jim, I think you're losing yourself. You don't seem right. You've gone from Mr. Prepper to Mr. RVer to what you are now. You've lost yourself. You're not who you used to be. Let me tell you something. I'm finding myself. I'm very thankful that I'm finding myself because the person that was talking to me was basically saying, Jimmy, I liked you better when you were depressed. I liked it better when you were just whining and moping around the house. You was just a nice guy, but man, you were just so somber. You were just so browbeat. You were just so down. And that's the Jimmy that I like. I don't like this new Jimmy now. I don't like this new Jimmy that has healed a little bit and is breaking out of the depression shell. I don't like that Jimmy. I want you to go back to where you were, Jimmy, because people's laughing at you because you're having fun. You're sitting here doing this crazy Dr. Julius Rants routine. It's crazy. People are laughing at you. Let them laugh. I don't want to be the guy back last September when my wife died who was crying every day. I don't want to be that guy last September who was lonely as can be. I've never experienced loneliness in my life as until I did then. I was sad. I was a broken man. So I started a YouTube channel, the Jimmy Rants, the one you're watching right now. Understand, Jimmy Rants, of course, is not my real name. My real name is Jimmy, but I do have a different name than Rants. And Jimmy Rants, I created this character. This gives me an outlet to me where I can piss and bitch and moan. I can talk about what I'm passionate about. I can talk about things that irk me. I can talk about things that just get on my last nerve. And that's pretty much Jimmy Rants. I don't know if this is a rant. I don't know. But then at the same time, not long ago, I created another character that I actually created when I was 9 years old. I created this character that I now call Dr. Julius Rants. It's a silly twin brother of Jimmy Rants. They're polar opposite. It's just a character. I am Jimmy Rants. I am Julius Rants. They came out of me. They are me. I don't want to be this stuffy jackass. You know what I mean? Something else I want to talk about a little bit. Like I said, I don't know how long this is going to go. And I've touched on some of these subjects, throughout my video making ordeal. But when I do Julius, Julius is my fun side of me. Like I said, back in 1963, I watched a Jerry Lewis movie, The Nutty Professor, and it was my all-time favorite comedy. I was 9 years old, just a boy, just a kid, okay? And so I started learning how to try to do Jerry Lewis's voice when he played Dr. Julius Kelp, the eccentric chemist, the Nutty Professor. And I got it down pretty good. Not just like him, but I came fairly close. And I used to do it at school. And I would do that voice, and the kids liked it. They thought it was funny because they watched the same movie. But I was the only one stupid enough to try to learn how to do the voice. You know that voice. I do him as Dr. Julius. If you want to hear it, go sub Dr. Julius Rants. He's on here. I haven't really got it going yet. I'm still working on some things. I'm just trying to introduce him. It'll either work or it won't. If it don't, it don't. If it does, wonderful. So when I was a kid and I did the Professor Kelp voice, I thought to myself, I thought this, wow, the kids like me. Because I do something funny and that makes them like me. So I did it. And as I grew older, I grew kind of away from it. I would do it here and there because people enjoy it sometimes. So I thought about, I need some fun in my life. I don't want to just get on here and just complain and gripe and scream and yell. I'm so sick of politics I could want to vomit. I'm so sick of hearing about getting old, and when you're old you shouldn't do this and you shouldn't do that. You should do this and you should do that. No, I'm going to do what I want to do. I'm 71 years old, and you know what my problem really is? My body is 71, my brain is 71, but my mind doesn't feel like what people think a 71-year-old should be like. I should just be, rocking in a chair next to a grave, just waiting to fall into the grave and die. That's what a lot of people do to us older people. But then you got people like me. I think I still have a good active mind. I like to have fun. I don't feel how society has turned us into being 71 and we're supposed to be some old goats. Some old goats. I don't want to be an old goat. I don't want to be an old grandpa rocking in the chair just full of wisdom, pushed in the corner. That ain't me. See, that's my trouble because I don't feel like I'm, again, 71, almost 72. And that's what a lot of you people think I should be, is this old man. I don't want to be that because I don't feel like that's me. You may be that, but I'm not. I still feel like, and I'm just going back in my mind, I still feel like I'm about 50 years old, 45 years old. I feel young at heart. I love to have fun. I like to talk to the ladies. I'm single. I'm allowed to do that. I enjoy it. I'm sorry that me talking and cutting up and joking with a lot of the ladies on here irritates you. I'm sorry. But that's what I want to do because that's who I am. You will never meet a more faithful guy than me, I promise you, but I'm single. I'm not attached to anybody, okay? There's a lot of rumors going around this silly YouTube, and they're all wrong. I'm by myself. I appreciate a lot of people. In fact, when I did the Dr. Julius, I created this Dr. Julius character. And what I've done lately is on Dr. Julius's channel that I'm kind of building on Instagram. I'm trying to build him on Facebook, and I'm trying to build him and work it up here on YouTube. I thought that Dr. Julius, being that he is this kind of a crazy, wonderful, lighthearted man, very gullible. Everybody seems to like Dr. Julius Rance because he's such a sweetheart. He's an innocent kind of guy. So I thought, you know what? He's a scientist, so why don't we allow him to have like a crew, some helpmates. So I picked out, and I've asked permission from several ladies that I really enjoy talking to. I love talking to every one of you that is a part of the Dr. Julius scientific team. Your positions that we created for you, the names are, well, your positions are very funny, but thank you for allowing me to play off of your character that we've created. And a lot of you have made it out to be that I am in love with everybody in real life now. That I'm in love. Oh, Jimmy is crazy about this one. Oh, Jimmy's crazy about that one. I love all of you. I love all of you, okay? In a human being kind of way. I love corresponding with you. I love joking with you. I love playing an act with you. But folks, I'm single. Sometimes I wish I wasn't single. But see, what gets me in trouble is I'm 71 years old, barely. But I don't think like a 71-year-old person, or what you think a 71-year-old would think like. I think like a 50 or a 45-year-old guy. I'm crazy. I like to have fun. Sue me. I don't want to be stuffy. If you want to be stuffy, oh, Jimmy, you should act your age. What do you, what? What do you mean act your age? What page do I turn to of the Act Your Age manual? What book do I turn to find out? Jimmy, you're not supposed to act like you do now. You're not supposed to have this fun. You're supposed to go back to last September and hurt and cry and be emotionally in distress. You don't need to be out here right now having fun. You're finding yourself, Jim, and I don't like you because you're finding yourself. You're pulling out of that depression shell, Jimmy. How dare you, man, lay that shit on me? Nobody, I'm trying to think. Nobody could have loved their wife more than me. And I know my wife would say, Jimmy, life is for the living, so get out there and go live, hon. Don't stand back here and just mourn me and destroy your quality of life because I passed away. Go have a life while you still can. And that's what I'm trying to do. I don't want to be stuffy. I'm sorry for those of you who think I act silly, that I shouldn't do that because I'm 71, that I'm supposed to act like some kind of man of great wisdom and knowledge, and I should be just seen and not heard from. So I wanted to make this little video to basically tell those of you who are saying, Jimmy, you're losing yourself. No, I'm coming out of the shell. I'm finding myself. I like being 71, almost 72, but I thank everything that's holy that I still have a young heart, a young brain, and that's why I can joke and kid around and tease and have fun with some of the ladies on here, some of the younger ladies on here. And I thank you. Yeah, thank you.